What's up, guys? Welcome to the most must-see podcast in all of pro wrestling on YouTube. This is, of course, the Major Players podcast on PWC Pro Wrestling Central. I am, of course, your host, the CEO of PWC, your boy Nashville. And as you can clearly see, things are yet again a little bit, well, not a little bit different, but a hell of a lot different. If you watched the Major Players video for Elimination Chamber predictions, where unfortunately we had a corrupted file, you'll be a little familiar with this kind of setting because Vaz, your mother's favorite podcaster, Vaz, one of our own Major Players, did a similar video for this very reason. However, I am doing this video not because we have a corrupted video, but because unfortunately the other three Major Players had some personal issues to attend to, and I, of course, being the CEO of PWC, your boy Nashville, has to stand in. There's a reason, and I know the other Major Players get upset, but there's a reason I have a streak, and it's because I have a rep to upkeep. I am the CEO of Pro Wrestling Central. I am the man who has to steer the ship, so that is why I have the streak. So before I get into that, yes, Vaz and Kyle did send me their predictions because they knew in advance that they wouldn't be here. Unfortunately, Jeremy had the unfortunate experience of having to cancel late, and because all four of us have conflicting times this coming week, we decided let me just go ahead and do it for them. Because myself, Vaz, Kyle, and Jeremy all cannot be in the same room at the same time because of our conflicting and clashing schedules. So I'm, of course, recording this on the Sunday before Hell in a Cell, so we've still got a Raw and a SmackDown to get to. Unfortunately, unlike AEW's Double or Nothing, there's not going to be a reason for me to probably do any picks ahead of time. I'm just going to go ahead with the predictions as they are. So like I said, we're recording this a week ahead, so that is why our predictions have only 5 matches on this card. There's 4 matches officially announced as of this recording, but there's 1 match that's expected based off what happened on this past week's SmackDown, which is the 2 weeks ahead SmackDown, ahead of the pay-per-view taking place. So I'm just going to drop in those predictions as well. Like I said, Vaz and Kyle have sent me with the predictions. Jeremy, on the other hand, has a very unique thing in that he didn't want me to do predictions for this video. He had something very special planned, but he wants me to do it instead for him. What I have here is what is called a 5 rand coin here in South Africa. And basically, he wanted to do a Harvey Dent Two-Face thing where he basically wants me to flip the coin for each of his predictions, and based on heads or tails for each predictions is what he's gonna go with. His predictions is very unique, very interesting. You know, he wants to spice things up. I get it. It's he wants to try something new. So, you know, hats off to him. He's not giving predictions for these 5 matches. He's just gonna do it off a flip of a 5 rand coin. So, you know, his choice. He didn't send me his predictions, so that's what I'm gonna do for you guys. For each of his predictions, each of the matches, I'm gonna flip a coin. Whether it's heads or tails, determines what his prediction is going to be. So, before I get into this, like I said, the other Major Players aren't here to give their thoughts. I just have their predictions. So, I will give you my thoughts and my predictions on camera here, and I'll read out their predictions. And for Jeremy, I will flip a coin like I said. Excuse me. Let me go through the card as it stands right now. We have 5 matches. Like I said, so this is the WWE Hell in a Cell 2022 card as it stands. The expected match still to be announced as of this recording. We're recording on the Sunday before the Sunday of the pay-per-view. Is the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match. We'll see the Usos, the current undisputed. Sorry, it's not the SmackDown Tag Team titles anymore. The undisputed unified Tag Team Champions, the Usos, will be taking on Riddle and Shinsuke Nakamura for those titles. I think Randy Orton is going to take some time off because of his back problems, so that's the whole reason why he won't be joining Riddle on this one. And I think this is just a way of WWE slowly phasing Riddle out from the tag division and maybe moving him into singles competition following this, since both Riddle and Nakamura, both their partners are out injured, legit injuries. Both Boogs and Orton cannot compete. So it's just going to be, a makeshift team of Riddle and Nakamura just to get the Usos to sort of solidify their tag team title reign. And I'm going to get to that when I give you guys my thoughts. So that's the expected bet. Now, as of the Sunday here, the official 4 matches announced for the card. We have the long and waited and anticipated match of Ezekiel versus Kevin Owens. We thought this match would happen at Backlash. It didn't take place. And so now it's going to take place at Hell in a Cell. Then we have a 2-on-1 handicap match. It's going to be Bobby Lashley versus Omos and MVP. I don't know if it's going to be a tag team or if it's going to be 2-on-1 at the same time, but either way, I do see this match going only one way, the same way I see Ezekiel and Kevin Owens going based on the push that they're giving Ezekiel. And then we have for the Raw Women's title, Raw Women's Championship rather, we have the defending champion Bianca Belair taking on Becky Lynch and Asuka. And of course, we have what I expect to be the main event, seeing that Roman Reigns is not going to be defending the unified, undisputed WWE Universal Championship at the pay-per-view. God, that is a mouthful. But our expected main event is going to be a Hell in a Cell match between Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, which I think is going to be the third and final match in this, I could say the warm-up feud for Rhodes, because, and I'll get into the reasons why I say that when I get into my predictions. So I'm just going to take a swig of water before I continue. So that is your current match. Now, a very stark contrast to the AEW Double or Nothing card, where they have, at this point, as of this recording this Sunday, I think it's about 12 or 13 matches on that card, and that is a ridiculous amount of matches, in my personal opinion. But this is nice. It's a quick digest card, and I noticed WWE used to do the AEW mistake of having like 14, 15 matches on a 3-hour or 4-hour card. But for this pay-per-view, the Hell in a Cell, they've whittled it down. They've got 5 matches. That's good. They should keep it that way. I'm sure there's going to be 1 or 2 more matches announced, and one's going to be on the pre-show, or sorry, the kickoff show, as I like to call it, for this premium live event and not a pay-per-view like AEW. So yeah, that's how I see this all going down, this shaking out. But it's nice. It's a good digest card. And the shows seem to finish at a reasonable time, so that's one upside of this whole thing. Going into the actual predictions now, like I said, there's 4 officially announced matches, and there's 1 expected match. So for the expected match, we have the undisputed unified tag team championships currently held by the Usos. And they're defending against, like I said, the makeshift tag team of Riddle and Nakamura. Both of them, like I said, have their partners out. Orton's out on a back injury, and I think Boogs went out with a leg injury at WrestleMania. It's an injury that he obtained at WrestleMania. And, I don't think, me personally, the Usos are not going to lose it this soon. The bloodline is far too strong. They're far too hot right now to lose it this soon. Riddle and Nakamura are just a passe tag team, for the lack of a better term. And the Usos are just going to solidify their tag team reign here. So I'm going with the Usos for the win on this one. That's my prediction. And Vaz and Kyle are the same. They sent me the predictions, and they're going with the Usos for the win. Because all 3 of us in the major players see that, the Usos are not winning this one. It's just clear as day. It's just too clear. Like, they can't lose. It's just too soon. As for Jeremy, he wanted to do the Harvey Dent two-face thing. So like I said, 5 rand coin right here. I'm going to flip the coin, and whichever side the coin lands on will be his prediction. Alright, I'm sure he'd do this way better than I did, but unfortunately, last minute changes, he can't be here. He's asked me to do it on his behalf. So here we go. If it lands on heads, it's the Usos for the win. If it lands on tails, it's going to be Riddle and Nakamura for the win, as Jeremy's prediction. So here goes. I'm going to flip the coin right now. Guys can see it's on camera. It lands on heads. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see that clearly. It landed on heads. So Jeremy's prediction is the same as the rest of us. He's going with the Usos for the win here on this expected match of the Hell in a Cell premium live event card. Moving on to a match that has been building up for quite some time. I'd say it's garnered a little bit of interest from the WWE Universe, but not that much, and that is the Ezekiel versus Kevin Owens match. Alright, surprisingly enough, I'm looking forward to this. I really am looking forward to this match. It's going to be a good match. It really is. I like Kevin Owens and I like Ezekiel's gimmick. Trying to say that he's Elias's younger brother, Ezekiel. If any of you out there watch, and I know this is going to be a really bad kind of reference, but if any of you watch this great Facebook channel or this YouTube channel, and it's also on Facebook, called Viva La Dirt League. It's basically about these kind of guys who work in a shop called Playtech, and they have this really horrible manager, worse than Michael Scott from The Office. His name is Rowan. And, by the way, the guys at Playtech, they wear a red top. That's like their worker bee. The red top is like their worker shirt. And I'm wearing red, not because I'm from Playtech, but because I'm representing Hell in a Cell's red colors. As always, your boy, Nashville, the CEO of PWC, has to keep with his theme. I always try and go with the color of a shirt that I have in my wardrobe that is as close enough as possible to the color theme of the pay-per-view. So that's what I'm going with here. So, if anybody of you watched Viva La Dirt League, you got a guy named Rowan, and he is a horrible manager. But I think there was a skit once where he pretended not to be Rowan. He did it a couple of times. There's one with the mystery shopper, but it was really him, but it was acting like it wasn't him. And then you got the cleaner, Roderick, I think it was, or Roddy, I can't remember the name, but it's somewhere along the lines. And then there was one where he did pretended to be a French guy working at the Playtech store by the name of Roa. So kind of like that kind of thing going on. Where he really was Elias, but he shaved off his beard and all his facial hair, and now he's Ezekiel, Elias's younger brother. So it kind of like takes me back to that kind of those parodies as vignettes, those whatever you call them. Nice videos. I enjoy Viva La Dirt League. Any video out there, go out there, subscribe to the channel, watch them. This is not a paid promotion, by the way. I'm just bringing it up because that's kind of like what this whole Ezekiel Elias thing reminds me of. And I had to get used to this Ezekiel thing because when I heard the name Ezekiel first, I thought they were referring to Ezekiel Jackson. You guys remember Ezekiel Jackson or Big Rick from Lucha Underground? Yeah, shout out to Reichland Steffens over there, or Rickland Steffens. I don't know how you pronounce the name, really. I don't. I just saw it once and I just pronounced it the way I saw it. So, anyways, coming back down to earth. My prediction for this match, it's a no-brainer. It's going to be Ezekiel for the win because, quite frankly, why the hell not? I mean, Ezekiel, damn, it's Ezekiel. Like, come on, it's Ezekiel. Like, why would you have it any other way? Why would Owens win? Ezekiel's got a great push. I don't see Owens winning. If he did, what would be the point of the whole Ezekiel being built up so much and then just dropping him and losing? And if you notice on WWE's YouTube channel, they've been promoting him quite a lot. Like every Monday before Raw, they post up a video of him getting ready for his match, or the first time in this arena, and his memories with the Elias and certain superstars, or whatever the case may be. They've been promoting him quite heavily. So I see him winning this one. I do not see Kevin Owens winning. And it seems that Vaz and Kyle agree with me. They also do not see Ezekiel losing. They see Ezekiel winning and Kevin Owens losing. Before I get to Jeremy's prediction, you all know how this is going to go. As per usual, well, for this video actually, Jeremy has asked me to do his predictions for him. So guys, again, for heads, it'll be Ezekiel. If it's tails, it'll be Kevin Owens. And just a trivial question, some of you may actually know this, but Kevin Owens is actually one of Jeremy's favorite wrestlers other than Booker T. So that's good. That's going to be quite interesting to see how this coin flip goes. So guys, remember, heads, it's Ezekiel. Tails, it's going to be Kevin Owens. I'm going to flip the coin as per his request, and that will be his prediction. Here we go. On camera so you guys can see it. And it turned up tails, guys. It's tails, so that means Jeremy's predictions for this match will be Kevin Owens. He's the only one going with Kevin Owens in the hall of this. Kind of expected because that's one of his favorite wrestlers, but you know, logically looking at it, we all could say Ezekiel, but that's how it's gonna go for this one. Moving along to another match that the storyline hasn't been grabbing me that much, but I see the point behind this match, although I assume this is not going to be one of the matches that I'm looking forward to at all, and that is the 2-on-1 handicap match that was just announced this past Monday on Raw. Bobby Lashley is going to be taking on Omos, the Nigerian giant Omos, and his manager MVP Montel Vontavious Porter in that handicap match. I don't know whether it's going to be a real 2-on-1 handicap match where both Omos and MVP are going to be in the ring at the same time against the almighty Bobby Lashley, or if it's going to be a tag team version where it's going to be one at a time. They have to tag in or out, you know, to take on Lashley. But either way, I see this match going only one way, and that is Omos and MVP for the win. Why would you get Omos to lose? Unless you're going to have Lashley pin MVP. But then, of course, I mean, Lashley pinned Omos. He ended his streak at WrestleMania. But you don't want him losing too often. You need to keep that credibility up. Now, while Omos won at Backlash, I don't see him losing at Hell in a Cell. So I'm going with Omos and MVP for the win at Hell in a Cell. And I'm glad that they're not oversaturating this pay-per-view with too many Hell in a Cell matches. Although, like I said, we're recording this the Sunday ahead. There's a possibility that we could get another Hell in a Cell match added on the Raw or SmackDown before Hell in a Cell. But at this point in time, I know a lot of people don't like it when they oversaturate the match. They feel it loses its quality. The same way when Mick Foley was giving out Hell in a Cell matches to everybody. It was like, Oprah Winfrey, you get a Hell in a Cell match, you get a Hell in a Cell match, you get a Hell in a Cell match. Everybody's getting a Hell in a Cell match. You know? But they're not doing that with this one. And it's nice to see that. They're keeping the match, you know, as... They're trying to keep the credibility of their match, and that's a good thing to see. So yeah, coming back on track, I see that it's going to be Omos and MVP for the win, and Vaz and Kyle agree with me. They're also going with Omos and MVP for the win. For Jeremy, he's asked me for every match on this pay-per-view, flip a coin. So Harvey Dent Two-Face style, we're going to flip a coin for him. So Jeremy, if it lands on heads, it's going to be Bobby Lashley for the win. If it lands on tails, it's going to be Omos and MVP for the win. So here we go. Flipping a coin for Jeremy right here. Let's do this. On camera so you guys can see, no cheating. And it's landed on heads. Alright? It's landed on heads. So again, just like with the Kevin Owens match, he's the only one going with Lashley on this one. So he's going with Bobby Lashley for the... Which is actually poetic. He is the biggest Bobby Lashley fan. He is Mr. Headband himself. So I think he's got no issues with how this coin is actually working out for him. So, Jeremy, big ups, man. The coin's working out in your favor. It's actually picking your favorite guy. So... Excuse me, he's got the Usos, which is one of his favorites. He's got the Owens, which is one of his favorites. And he's got Lashley, which is one of his favorites. This coin seems to know Jeremy very well. Moving on to the only women's match on the card. And that's going to be for the Raw Women's Championship. That's Bianca Belair, the new champion, in I think only her second defense, taking on Becky Lynch and Asuka. Second or third defense. I think it's a third. Yeah, I think it's a third. She got Sonya Deville and Becky Lynch. Yeah, so it's her second defense of the title, or third defense, sorry. And it's her first match against Asuka since her return, which is nice to see. And seeing as how the tag titles got, you know, unified, and then the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship got unified, I think sooner or later, probably, I'm not saying it will be, but probably we might see the Raw Women's Championship and the SmackDown Women's Championship also being unified into one sole title. But for this match, for now, it seems like it's going to be Bianca Belair for the win for me. I don't see Becky Lynch winning the title this soon after losing it. I think they're trying to phase her out of the title division, the same way they're trying to phase Riddle out of the tag division, maybe push him up into the singles mid-card or maybe world, you know, division, world scene, who knows. And I don't see Asuka winning. She just returned. She's not being built up hot enough to make me believe the fact that she's going to win. So I'm going with Bianca Belair for the win to retain her title. And Vaz and Kyle agree. They're also both going with Bianca Belair for the win. As for Jeremy, my friend, as per your request, I'm going to flip the coin again. And this time, this is going to be a tough one. We're going to have to do an Eliminator style here. Alright, because there are 3 women involved in this match, and there's only 2 sides to a coin. So let me tell you what we're going to do. First, I'm going to flip the coin to decide whether it's going to be Becky Lynch or Asuka for the win. Right? Not for the win, sorry. It's going to either, so it's heads for Becky Lynch, tails for Asuka. And whoever wins this head toss will go into the final coin toss between Bianca Belair and the winner of this coin toss. So here we go, guys. First matchup. Becky Lynch, heads, Asuka, tails. Right, here we go. On camera so you guys can see. And it's landed on heads. So it's going to be Becky Lynch, right? So now it's going to be Bianca Belair is heads, Becky Lynch is going to be the tails, alright? So heads for Bianca Belair and tails for Becky Lynch, right? Asuka has been removed from the equation. I had to do it this way. It's a triple threat, Jeremy. Come on. Here we go. Alright, here we go. Tails, guys. So it is Jeremy is going with Becky Lynch for the win. I'm sure he's heavily disappointed with his coin toss on this one. It worked out well with the Usos, Owens, and Lashley. I'm sure he would have loved to have Asuka come out for the win here because he's quite a big Asuka fan, I would say. So, Jeremy, I'm sorry. The coin was not your friend for the women's match here. And last but not least, the 5th and final match on the card. Fourth and final in terms of the official card as of the Sunday. Again, I'm reiterating, I am recording this the Sunday ahead of the pay-per-view, and I'm filling in the predictions for Kyle, Vaz, and Jeremy because all 4 of us have conflicting. There's no way that all 4 of us could make it, or at least 2 of us could make it at the same time this week. So I'm the CEO of PWC. I'm doing this for them. All right. Last match on the card. It is the Hell in a Cell match. And it is Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, taking on the Visionary, as Vaz liked to say, the man with all the drip. I know Vaz loves Seth freaking Rollins, okay? So it's Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, taking on Seth freaking Rollins, the Visionary, in a Hell in a Cell match. And this is going to be a very good match. I'm going to enjoy this. I can see, and any of you have watched AEW, you know how well Cody Rhodes works in hardcore stipulation matches. AEW was known for its blood and guts. Right? There's an AEW pun for you. I know, Vaz, you hate my puns. You've always hated them. They're worse in person when you sat next to me during the WrestleMania predictions. But you know what? Blood and guts. That's what I'm going with. So Cody Rhodes comes from AEW. He knows about blood and guts. So this should be a pretty good match. I mean, Jericho does the same thing all the time. And I know Vaz is pissed off that I just brought up Jericho. But you know what? He's not here to defend himself. So I can say whatever the hell I want to say. Hell in a Cell. So it's going to be Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. I mean, this is obvious. Cody Rhodes for the win. There's no way, and no chance in hell they've got. No chance that Cody Rhodes is going to lose this Hell in a Cell match. And I'll tell you why. Because myself, just like Vaz, just like Jeremy, just like Kyle, just like everybody else in the PWC and even the whole pro wrestling land know for a fact that Money in the Bank is in July. And they can't have Cody Rhodes losing Hell in a Cell because they have Cody Rhodes penciled in to win the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. And he's going to go on probably to cash that and become the world champion and fulfill. His whole journey will come full circle and he's going to get the world title that he wanted to hand to his father, Dusty Rhodes. Not in human, not in person, but he's going to fulfill his father's legacy by doing that. So you know what? I'm going with Cody Rhodes for the win. Vaz and Kyle are sitting with me. They're going with Cody Rhodes for the win. the funny thing about this is that myself, Vaz, and Kyle, all three of us, our predictions are the same because we see logic booking for WWE. This pay-per-view is just so predictable, guys. It's very predictable, and that's why this pay-per-view has been so easy for us to predict, because we can see the trajectory of everything, where it's going, the heel-face paradigm, the storylines, the angles, everything. It's a very predictable pay-per-view. If you get a shock, I will be pleasantly surprised. And pleasant because it's nice to get some shock, but surprised because logically the booking won't match up. Maybe they have something better in plan. Who knows? Maybe they don't have a plan at all. But yeah, myself, Vaz, and Kyle are all going with Cody Rhodes. For Jeremy, I'm going to flip the coin, man. Heads, Cody Rhodes. Tails, Seth Rollins. So let's go with this. Heads, Cody Rhodes. Tails, Seth Rollins. Let's flip the coin for Jeremy. This is what you wanted, man. Harvey Dent Two-Face style. Let's go. On camera so you guys can see it. And it has landed on heads. So for the first prediction of the night, Jeremy is going with us. First time in the whole night that Jeremy's coin has decided for him to land on heads, and so he is going with Cody Rhodes for the win. So the main event is the only one that Jeremy, as you know, all four of us on the same page on that one, thanks to the coin. Jeremy's predictions have been the Usos, Owens, Lashley, Lynch, and now Cody Rhodes. So guys, that's a wrap from me. Like I said, there's only 5 matches, 1 expected on the card, 4 officially announced as of this Sunday, a week ahead of WWE Hell in a Cell Premium Live event from WWE. If there are any other matches added in the week, so be it. We can't do anything about it. This is it. The video is up. It's on YouTube, and there's no changing it now. So that is our predictions. I hope the next time we get together, we can at least get Vaz on the show. We want to update. We want to know. We're halfway through the year now. We're like in June almost. Or probably we're in June now. We're literally. So we want to know halfway through the year, how are our predictions looking? Like you know, who's in the lead, who's last, who's looking like they're going to eat that or do whatever kind of punishment it is going to happen in the year. Guys, remember, comment down below what kind of punishment you want the loser of this year's predictions to do, and Kyle will do it for you guys, because, you know, like Jeremy and Vaz would say, I'm not saying it, this is what Vaz and Jeremy would say, Kyle is going to do a Kyle at the end of the year. So guys, that is it from me, the CEO of PWC, your boy Nashville. I filled in for Vaz, Kyle, and I flipped the coin for Jeremy, like Harvey Dent Two-Face style. That Jeremy requested it, so he's got no objections to what the coin has decided for him. I'm sure he's not happy about the Lynch one, but I'm sure the rest, he's got no issues with it. So guys, remember guys to drop a big like, subscribe to Pro Wrestling Central if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you'll be informed the next time we hit the airwaves. Hopefully next time more than one of us will be here. This is my first solo video doing the predictions for these guys, so I hope it came out well. I did a Vaz here. Vaz did the same for the Elimination Chamber video. If you guys haven't seen it, go over, check it out. It's on the playlist of the major players, the most must-see videos in PWC Pro Wrestling Central. Until next time, guys. I'm sorry, Vaz, you're not here to defend yourself. Let me do it. Until next time, guys. Peace and chicken and grease.